Welcome in, Deseret News Rewind. Dusty Lidster, Dane Stewart, as always. Presented by Heinemann Associates and brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard.
Hey, that's right, Dusty. And, it's the beginning of the season, so the season's afresh. Everyone's thinking about teamwork. How do we build our team, build our culture? If you want to understand how to build a culture and a team, how to participate in a team, there's no better place to learn that than the Utah Army National Guard. Over 150 different career path options available. And, Dusty, you can earn up to $20,000 in educational assistance as well as $20,000 in signing bonuses available, depending on the career path chosen from the Utah Army National Guard. To learn more, visit nationalguard.com.
Well, and in life, we always need good teammates. We need good people on our side. And Justin Heidemann is one of the best teammates you can absolutely ask for. Go to Heidemann and Associates to learn more about how to take care of your family. You want to start a new business. Not only that, if you need to get your will and trust taken care of. What we've learned in the first 8 months of this year is that anything can happen. If something's going to happen, get your family taken care of. Heidemann Associates is there to handle all those needs for you with a will and living trust. And if you are a COVID-19 frontline worker, get a free will and trust. And then we got to bring on a new teammate as well to the Deseret News Rewind group, and that is Black Clover. So presented by Heinemann Associates, brought to you by the Utah National Guard, but outfitted by Black Clover.
Dusty, you're looking really sharp today. What are you donning there from Black Clover?
I got the pinwheel polo on. It's cut good.
I'm debuting the Vanguard myself, and I'm not going to lie, I love it. Hey, you know what else I love? Their hats. This is one of the best hats I've ever owned. They've got a full line of products for men and women. You can check it out online at blackcloverusa.com, or you can slip into their store just off 123rd South in Draper next to the water park.
Absolutely. Want to thank our partners for being part of this because, hey, it's football season. Been waiting for this since December, since the day it ended up at Rice-Eccles Stadium. And we went through the first 5, so we're going to go through our top 25. Plus, we'll give you 5 additional teams to keep your eye on throughout the state of Utah. And then I misspoke at the end of the one video. You'll know which one I did. We'll also talk about 3A and 2A. Give you some teams to look out for there as well. Well, it's top 10 time, and this is a jam-packed top 10. And I think we'll have plenty of opinions. If you got opinions, hit us up on Twitter at DNewsRewind, at Daniel_Stewart, at Dusty Lidster. And we'll stand by these. But here's the thing. I'm going to say this at the top. I think we all know every year 1 and 2. I think from there it's an absolute dogfight.
The crazy thing is when we look at this year's, you could really probably expand that a little bit and maybe change that cutoff. What does that mean? We'll talk about it when we get there. But the top 10 teams, in my mind, there's a lot of interchangeability up here because there's not a lot of wiggle room between 10 and 3 or 10 and 2 in my mind. I think these top 10 are all really, really close.
Well, I'll go out there and say that 2 and 1 are pretty distant from everybody else. You can come at me.
And, that's at Dusty Lidster, and I'm at Dane Stewart. So Dane_Stewart.
I'll take the heat. I'll handle it. Plenty of Facebook comments coming now. All right, let's go with number 10. And this is kind of surprising. I think for some people, we're going to be a little bit surprised. But number 10, the Lone Peak Knights.
Yeah, this is a team that, man, they graduated a lot of kids, Dusty. I mean, you think about it, Nealman being gone, Fotu gone, Richie gone. There's a lot of pieces. Their receiving core has all graduated. So there's a lot of turnover. Yeah, there's a lot of turnover here for Lone Peak. That being said, you do bring back a quarterback in Romney. We saw him as Nealman was going through some of his injuries last year. Oborn is back. Daly is back. So they do have some pieces there. But, man, that team last year was just so senior heavy and with really talented seniors. This is a deep program. I mean, you look at their roster, it feels like it's got 150 kids on it. So it's going to be no shortage of talent. It's just that talent getting used to playing varsity speed, varsity time. And, for me, I'll go back to what I said. There's not a lot of gap between 10 and 2, between 10 and 4. This Lone Peak team could very well be higher in my mind. But given the turnover there, we have them at number 10.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's been very interesting to watch what happens with Lone Peak. I'm very curious to see with the time off, more time. I tell you this, beginning of June, we're doing a baseball tournament. The football team's out doing their work. And not just a small group of football players either. I mean, it was a large group of guys, player run, doing their stuff. Very interesting. Number 9 in a team that, hey, preseason doesn't mean squat. Wait till we get to region play. The Harriman Mustangs.
That's right. Hey, we can go 0 for 4. We don't care. We're getting focused about region play. And that's been a great recipe for this Harriman squad over the years, and they've always got it figured out in time. And I think this Harriman team, they lose a lot of kids as well. You look at Leia Cahey graduating, Fafita, Williams, James, Kula, who was a great defender for this Harriman team last year. There's a lot of pieces that are moving on, but Coach Pierce has built a really strong program, a great foundation out at Harriman. We talk about players at Lone Peak. Boy, there's a lot of kids playing at Harriman right now. Mountain Ridge has cut into that a little bit, but this Harriman program is still really strong under Coach Pierce. I don't know that I'm not even going to say that. I think this is a team in Region 3. You've got East there, and then to me, you've got Bingham, Harriman, River. You've got a lot of teams there that are in very similar spots. I think this Harriman team, the foundation that Coach Pierce has built, is positioned to compete in that region.
Well, it's be interesting because it's what he does. They're going to play defense and run the football, and then they'll take advantage of the vertical opportunity when it's there. But that they're going to be in the game. I mean, that's just kind of how the recipe for success. Number 8, and this is a fun one. I feel like this is like every year we do this. So we're willing to step into this bear trap once again. The Pleasant Grove Vikings come in at number 8.
In their perennial spot here, right?
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
you look at this team, Dusty, and they graduated their quarterback Campbell, but you look at the pieces they have coming back. Tautioli is coming back. The Connors are coming back. These are young men that all have opportunities to continue playing this game once they walk through the hallways of Pleasant Grove High School. You talk about an opportunity for some transfers to come in. Don't quite know where that's going to land. Coach Wooten obviously likes to spread out the football. His offenses rarely have difficulty scoring. I think this Pleasant Grove team is going to be a lot to handle because they're going to have a good offense. We've come to expect that from Coach Wooten. But you talk about some of the defensive contributors they have. I think this defense is going to be really stout for PG this year. I think this is going to be a year where PG can really get back to a postseason run, maybe make it to a semifinal with the talent they have on this roster this year.
And Dane, and there's a name too, Isaac Baja, the young man we saw on the hardwood last time. He's now picking up some big-time offers, and we got to give love to this one. How about Rex Connors getting an offer to go to West Point and play football at Army?
Good for him, man. That is not easy to get into, folks. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, it is really, really good. Yeah, PG be very interesting to watch. Now, let's talk about interesting. What if I told you that a team went to the 5A state championship game? We're inside the 5-yard line, a chance to knock off one of their biggest rivals, and a team that had been coming after them, and just couldn't do the little things to get it done. But now they come back reloaded, reinvigorated, and ready to go. And that is number 7, the Timpview T-Birds.
I'll tell you what, Coach Stokes has this program right at the level where everyone expects them to be and has become accustomed to them being. And you look at, from last year, Moa graduated, Muavasi graduated, but you got big-time players coming back. And in my mind, it all starts with Targi Lamson. This is a young man. I don't even play the game. I don't want him coming at me. He's big, fast, physical. I'm telling you, I feel bad for opposing defenses have to deal with him. And then you match that with a tight end like Carson Ryan, who is also big, physical, great hands. We saw him make athletic grabs last year, that tight end position. And then, of course, you have Jack's boy on the outside, right? Raider DeMooney coming back. Allen was quarterback last year. I think he's coming back. I think he was a junior last year.
Elijah Allen's coming back.
You got a lot of pieces on that offense. And Coach Stokes, we talked about the great job he's done building this. Coach, we'll just take a moment here. I know, personally, family, we certainly wish you and your family all the best as you work through challenges there. From the Deseret News Rewind family, obviously our hearts and prayers go out to you and your family. Hope that everything is well there in preparation for this upcoming season. But, man, he's got a team that is absolutely loaded on both sides of the ball. I think this Timpview team, man, they are going to be tough, not just in their region, but in 5A. And, frankly, they'd match up well against a lot of 6A teams as well.
Well, you mentioned Elijah Allen, young man played quarterback. He's going to play the slot. He's going to play defense for this team as well. And we didn't even mention Logan Fano. And we know that kid's is another one. I mean, there's so many guys right now. Timpview, they reload with that talent, and it will be so much fun to watch the battle down there in Utah County. And have we mentioned that Region 7 is really good? And get one last little plug in there. Yeah, I mean, pretty decent. It's like the Region 4 or 5A. It's where I reside, so it's the only thing we'll talk about.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's go to the last one here, and then we're going to hit the top 5 video next. Make sure to go check that one out. Number 6, and it's a return. It's lower than we've ever had this team in the preseason poll and where we get started. But there's reasons for it, because you're going to see the next 5. There's reasons for this. But we're so good to welcome a guy back. Coach Dave Peck is back, and it's the Bingham Miners coming in number 6.
I'll tell you what, Dusty, 2013 Dusty would be so disappointed in you. You've got a Coach Peck Bingham team outside the top 5. What is going on? This Bingham team, I first of all love to have Coach Peck back, and he's been missed, and excited to have him back at the program that he really helped to build and take to national prominence. And the task is, can you do it a second time? And you look at some of the young men that they have coming back. You've got Glasker, who's a really good player, Puha as well. For me, I'm wondering about Men. Do we see him coming back? Remember, he had a season-ending injury last year. I don't know if he's going to be back for that senior year, would be eligible. He was just a junior last year, but what was an absolutely just ugly injury. Certainly hope that he's doing okay, regardless of whether he's playing football or not. But you have young men like Larson graduating, Englau graduating. It's a little bit of rebuilding the pipeline here for Bingham. They've had some kids that have transferred to other programs, and there's some work to do there. That being said, it's not doomsday for Bingham. They're fine. This is still going to be a really, really good program in the state of Utah, and Coach Peck back at the helm. Watch out, because I have a feeling in no time they're going to be right back up there in the top 3 in our preseason top 25s.
I mean, it's a starting point. By no way are we saying they're the 6th best team in the state over, at the end of the season. This is just getting started. We're trying to see what's coming back and understand where we are. And we do know there's some growing pains for Bingham after, an amazing run. And we've all seen this happen. But I'll tell you one thing, you see it come back. I have no doubt about that. Yep. Getting ready for the top 5. What do you think of 10 through 6? Hit us up on Twitter at D News Rewind, at Dana_Stewart, at Dusty Litster. And again, go support the people that support us. Go check out Heinemann and Associates. Let them help take care of you. If you have any law needs or get your will and trust taken care of, business set up, go to Utah Army National Guard if you need to make that next change in your career. And of course, if you want to look a little bit better, find a better hat, you want some good clothes, Black Clover is who we would recommend there as well. They can make us look a little better, and maybe they can help you too. So for Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us watching Deseret News Rewind on Deseret.com.